What's going on? It's Dapper Don, and I'm excited to welcome you all back. I've been gone for a while, but that time was spent learning, growing, improving on my craft, and honing my skill set. Now I'm ready to tackle consistent podcasting once again. In honor of my renewed commitment, I've decided to revamp my show entirely. So, welcome to What's Going On with your incorrigible host, Dapper Don. This is still going to be a show where I talk about whatever the hell I want, but I'm not worried about filtering this for a radio audience. I figure I still want to be on radio, but I'll just come up with a different show, different, more radio appropriate show. But for now, I'm happy keeping this a YouTube only show. Now, on to today's episode. I'm going to be sort of A B testing different formats. I'm going to do one episode scripted and one episode that's more stream of consciousness to see which sounds better. If I like one format, we'll keep it until I get bored and move on to the next type of format. I do want this show to be as free flowing as possible, so expect changes on the regular. Anywho, today's episode. Today we'll be talking about the TikTok ban, maybe delving a bit into some revelations I've had recently regarding love and relationships, and the dangerous trends that threaten it, and talk briefly about the tragedy of the LA fires. But first up on the docket, obviously, is the TikTok ban. So TikTok's fucking nuked. It's gone. TikTok's time is up. Now, at the time of writing the format for this episode, the ban was being talked about being enacted at the time of recording January 19th today. And basically, the situation was the big cheeses demanded that the parent company for TikTok, a Chinese company called ByteDance, either sell the app, primarily used for dancing videos, copyrighted clips of Hulu shows, and random screaming, to an American company, or pack their bags and say bye-bye. And they officially ruled to ban it as of around, I think it was 10 p.m. on January 18th. It's fucking gone. It's nuked. I open the app and it says, oh, there is a law in effect banning TikTok and you're not able to use it. And the only other options are either learn more or close the app. So it's gone. It's donezo. No more TikTok. Now, apparently Trump is going around, sort of cock teasing people, saying that he might be working with the TikTok people to bring it back. I don't know. And I made a Facebook and Instagram post about this, just kind of, like basically saying oofeth, because I know that a lot of people were freaking out about the ban. Oh, I'm going to be out of a job. I'm going to be fired. When am I going to get my TikTok money? So, and some yokel commented on the post saying use Red Note. So the paranoia with TikTok, and I'm gonna before we get into anything else, I'm gonna just kind of dive into this. The paranoia with TikTok, right, is that the Chinese government is over the like has, I don't know how, like a 7%, I think, share. Let me actually, because I think the Chinese government has to have shares in every business in China. It's like a 1% or 7%. I gotta look it up. Hold on. Business does the Chinese government own? So let me see here. Um. Okay, that's not really answering my question. What percent of Chinese? What percent stock is the Chinese government holding in its businesses? Don't worry, I'll find it. I'll find it. Fucking Google, not really answering the goddamn question. I hate AI so fucking much. Okay. I didn't find what I was looking for because I think it's saying that the state owns about between 10 and 50% of each business. But I did find something a little bit more interesting. The state typically holds the majority of shares in and this is just Google just answering the question. The state typically holds the majority of shares in vital industries like energy, finance, and telecommunications. And it's a mixed ownership structure. Many listed Chinese companies have a mixed ownership structure, with the state holding a significant portion alongside other investors like legal persons and individual investors. What that basically means is that if the Chinese government wants to kick down the fucking door and say, hey, give me all the information, including the sensitive information, the banking information, the sensitive fucking banking information of people on this particular app. And TikTok is in the telecommunications field because telecommunications involves any electronic transfer of information. So basically what it's saying is TikTok could have their doors kicked down in a moment with the Chinese government saying, hey, give me every bit of information you have on this specific user. And ByteDance has to comply. That was the worry that started this ban. Red Note, from what I understand, is an app specifically controlled by the Chinese government, like so deep in their pockets that it's literally called Red Note. Like, I'm not even kidding. I'm not using that fucking app because I'm not that desperate to scroll and spend hours of my day to the point where I'm running into polls and shit. Scrolling through horrible, annoying trends. Honestly, the TikTok ban to me isn't necessarily all that bad. I was being facetious when I said oofeth on that post. It's not that bad to me. Now, it is a little bit of a slippery slope. After all, a lot of folks have made their living on TikTok, truth be told, and it has had a positive impact in the past, excuse me. Plus, when we start like allowing the government to control what kind of apps we can have on our phones, even a little bit, we do open the door to other things like them telling us what to say or how to act or weaponizing their law enforcement against us, that type of thing. Still, you know, China is a foreign adversary of ours, and they do have a history of being a little invasive. I mean, there was that fucking scare about the spy balloon that was seen in American skies. Now, I don't know if that turned out to be an actual Chinese spy balloon or not, but the very fact that we could even fear something like that, it's not without reason, you know? And I know that kind of thing has been heard to death, but it is the truth. They don't like us much. And it's hard to just look over it considering that China is a very, involved foreign adversary. Now, I have heard whispers that Trump, because he secured a lot of voters from TikTok, might be looking into trying to keep the app running. But based on what I researched, that could involve him cutting a deal to own part or even all of the app. And to be honest, that might be worse. Trump is a businessman, but it's also Trump. So we'll just say TikTok will be in a radically different state than it is now, aka what Elon did to Twitter, or what Mark is doing to Facebook. I don't really want to zuck Twitter. I don't really want to zuck TikTok. I don't want to musk up TikTok. I think I'm good because Trump can't run the app. It would have to be one of his supporters that knows how to do technology shit that runs the app. So it would just be doing too much. I think, in my opinion, I think we should just ban it. I mean, we've got YouTube Shorts, we've got fucking Instagram Reels. Every app right now has its own TikTok equivalent. We'll be fine. Um, and I mean, it's just I don't know. It's just is like a non-issue, right? Like if we do get TikTok back again, good. But if not, this is like a nothing burger. Like if you weren't, I'm sorry, I hate to say this, but if you weren't smart enough to move over to YouTube or to move over to post your shit elsewhere, especially if you got popular on TikTok, then you're gonna have to cope. I mean, I didn't think TikTok would be around forever when it first came out because TikTok came about because Musically got fucking nuked, and they bought it and revamped it and then pushed it back out again. So I think another app may even come out that's like TikTok, but it won't be fucking Red Note, and it won't be any of these other fucking apps like Lemon 8 or whatever. Nope. There's going to be a whole new American-owned TikTok that comes out, I think. And it's gonna do what it does. But another reason that I say the TikTok ban is not all bad is because, in all honesty, TikTok is annoying. Highly annoying. I'm sorry. Someone had to say it. TikTok is the only app I know where you can find a really banger song and then it'll get played to death and make you viscerally angry every time you hear it. That Doechii song, Denial is a River, is a perfect example. It's a really good song. But all over my feed, I keep hearing, don't wanna have to turn niggas got in the suit beans, or whatever the fuck. And now the song makes me want to rip my fucking ears out. Like, Jesus. If I see one more fucking Starbucks Karen idiot gyrate into that one breathing exercise part, I think I might projectile vomit. And this ain't the first song that TikTok's ruined. I mourn songs like $1 Million Baby and Paint the Town Red. The only songs I don't really give a shit about are any of the Taylor Swift backlog of bullshit. I know, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for that. But I really don't give a shit about Taylor Swift or the backlog of bullshit or anything like that. Those are examples of songs I'm really glad are ruined for some people. The less people listen to that, the better. Again, I don't hate you if you do listen to Taylor Swift. I just really don't like her and think that nobody should be listening to her. But, that's just me. I'm not even going to talk about some of the weird fucking ideas that people have gotten off TikTok. Like, I've literally heard people running around saying that not peeling a fucking orange is a red flag. This is shit that informs people's actual viewpoints. Oh, don't take me to the Cheesecake Factory on our first date, because if you do, you're a broke motherfucker. Says the bitch still living in her parents' basement. I want a high-value woman who cooks and cleans and reads the Bible and sucks good D. Says the neckbeard who sits around eating chips and playing COD all day. Or what about that lady that says she got hit with a brick by some men, which caused a bunch of plebs to instantly go on a man-hating, kill-all-man type rant spree for a good point of time until it came out that she lied and just had an allergic reaction or some shit? Matter of fact, no. I'm gonna look that up and we're gonna dive right in because I don't want to. First, I don't want to. Woman claims she was hit. Yep. Because I don't want to get this fucking wrong. So here's the update as of January 18th, 2024. Rhoda Osman. So this is NBC. And this was January 18th, 2024. Alleged brick attack victim charged with theft after raising more than $40,000. Rhoda Osman posted on social media in September of the previous year, 2023, alleging that she was assaulted by a man who hit her with a brick after she turned down his advances. A woman who became known online for saying that a man assaulted her with a brick outside of a Houston club was charged Wednesday with felony theft for the creation of a crowdfunding campaign in which people online donated more than $40,000. She claimed that she was hit with a brick outside of a Houston club, and she started a GoFundMe. And she raised apparently over $40,000 to help her recover. And that started a bunch of people talking about this I hate all men crap, and this is why men are this way, and this is why men are that way, this is why men should die. Oh, it was all over TikTok. Yeah, Rhoda Osman, 33, is facing charges of felony theft by deception because it turns out she fucking lied, but has not been arrested as her whereabouts are currently unknown to authorities. In September, she posted on social media following an alleged altercation in front of a club, saying that she was assaulted by a man who hit her with a brick after she turned down his advances. The post, which did not include footage of the alleged assault, red flag, went viral, launching debates online about whether her story was to be believed. According to, I even saw YouTubers going on the types of screeds. I even saw YouTubers going off about it. According to a charging document that the Harris County District Attorney's Office shared with NBC News, police responded to the incident in September. Osmond said she was hit in the face with a brick by an unknown man because she would not share her phone number with him, is what she said. Osmond also said that she got into a car and she thought was an Uber and that the driver tried to kidnap her, the report stated. According to the document, she said the driver tried to hit her. Weeks later, the detective who wrote an affidavit for the district attorney's office reviewed local surveillance footage of the moments leading up to the incident. In the video, Osmond was spotted with a friend, and the man, later identified as the person who hit her. They got into a car together and then exited the car. The detective said the footage showed Osmond slapping the man, then he hit her back with a water bottle in his hand. We think that's what left the mark on her face, Keith Houston from the Harris County District Attorney's Office told KPRC, an NBC affiliate in Houston. But it was mutual combat. According to the charging document, a friend who was with Osmond the night of the incident told police that she did not believe Osmond was hit with a brick. However, the initial social media posts about the incident led to a fundraiser on GoFundMe, bringing in more than 1,000 donations totaling at least $42,000. The crowdfunding page has since been deactivated. And GoFundMe has a statement here saying they have zero tolerance or whatever. But basically, yeah, she lied about getting hit with a brick. And I thought the image that she showed was of her having a fucking allergic reaction or some shit. But apparently she had got smacked in the face with a water bottle. I find that strange that a plastic water bottle is able to leave those types of marks. But then again, I've never been hit really hard in the face with plastic, so I don't know. But anyways, yeah, that was all over TikTok. And it caused people to go on those kill all men type rants. Because she just, I mean, even in that, she had been talking about how men were bad and all that shit, and that just kind of sparked up a bunch of fucking people. Or that fucking guy that said that girls deserve bad things happening to them because they wouldn't go on dates with him. And I'm gonna look that up too, just so I make sure I have that right. Guy says girls deserve to be R-worded because they won't date him. Oh, it's not giving me the fucking result. You guys know the guy I'm talking about. Mm, no, it's not Andrew Tate. It's one of those fuckers that likes to think like him, though. TikTok black nice guy. No, I mean a quote unquote nice guy, not an actual nice guy. Give me. I'll find it. It's just technology likes to rebel against me right at the moment of truth, because I literally had it up the other day. Give me 1 second. TikTok guy says guy mad at girls because they won't date him. Brother, come on. Come on. I'll find it eventually. I will find it. I just don't want to take up too much time. I'll probably link it in the description if I do find it. But basically, it was because girls wouldn't date him. He was saying they deserved to be R-worded and have a whole bunch of other bad shit happen to them. So, and it got so viral that his fucking mother had to come on and be like, I've been saying that he has problems. He needs to get therapy. Like, his fucking mother had to come on and fucking disavow him, essentially, and fucking smack him down because he just kept going. And people were even interviewing him, trying to figure out just how twisted this man fucking thinks. And it's just, not, you know what? I really gotta find that video. I gotta find it. I do have to. I gotta find it. I think maybe Abba and Preach did something with it. Here, give me 1 second. If I find it, I'll link it in the description, and you'll know exactly who I'm talking about if you don't already. Yeah, the video is called "The Nicest Guy" on Abba and Preach's channel, and you know who this fucker is. You know who this fucker is. But anyways, you know. But it's unlike YouTube, where people who think on this fucked up level are usually censored, silenced, and put away in some corner for the most part. Any idiot can turn their camera on, record some minute-long screed, and it'll almost be guaranteed to go low-level viral. It's absolutely disease-ridden. Vile. Oh, but I haven't even scratched the surface of what this app did to people's relationships. And before I go on, I do have to put a fucking disclaimer here. I'm not talking about every user on the app. Some of them can be cool sometimes. If there wasn't at least some value to the app, I wouldn't be on it or caring about any news related to it. I do like the app sometimes, and sometimes I'll even find things on there that have me laughing and rolling, just absolutely screaming, dying on the ground. But at the end of the day, it is an app with more cons, in my opinion, than pros. And besides, the stuff that I'm talking about, it's like I'm just talking about the most popular shit you'll see upon opening the app, Stuff that'll slip through even if you think you've perfectly built your algorithm brick by brick, but it'll still slip through. Anyways, I've covered my ass with that disclaimer, so if you comment saying, well, not everybody on TikTok is like that, then I'm just going to assume you didn't watch the podcast, because that's the only way that you could miss this particular part. But now on to what TikTok has done to relationships, and what, at a certain point, a young, misguided me believed was true about relationships. Because let's be honest, TikTok has started some absolutely awful fucking trends when it comes to how people view relationships. Just awful. All those fucking couples pranks accounts where you get such wonderful and creative and wholesome concepts like let me go through your phone and make your girlfriend think you're cheating, spend all your boyfriend's money, and always keep a spare nigga in your phone in case things don't work out. Fake breakup all the time to keep them on their toes. Be aggressively sexual in public to an uncomfortable extent. Never ever let your boyfriend dare play video games. And other wonderful hits. Oh, it's so wholesome. You gotta love that family-friendly dysfunction and resentment. All men are dogs and all women are bitches, right? Being comfortable in a relationship? Whoa, wacky. Can't have that. If he ain't 6'2" with abs, 3 cars, and 2 apartments, he doesn't deserve comfort. He doesn't even deserve a second glance. If she ain't got it going on, looking fierce all the damn time, she ain't high value. Like, fuck me, man. And that rhetoric being played over and over again starts to fuel some horrible ideas in people. Like I said, a young, fledgling Dapper Don thought that these things were true. Like the idea that most average people are somehow inherently unworthy of love because they don't fall into some aggressively fictional camp. The stuff that Book Talk comes up with, the abs, the six-pack, the fucking, somebody who has an abs, six-packs, and a whole bunch of money who's willing to settle for somebody who looks like a fucking Tumblr goblin. It started over there, and then it slowly spread to all facets of it. The idea is, men, if you're lucky to be graced with a flawless lady's presence, you still can't ever truly be content with her, a la Twilight. Because as soon as you let your guard down, she'll leave. If people don't serve you, abandon them, even if you yourself were the ones pushing them away. Be fierce, be fuckable, be fabulous. Never let the mask slip or you'll always be lonely. And let me tell you, I really fucking hate that if people don't serve you, ditch them shit. Because most people always interpret that wrong and end up just using people and leaving them when those people dare to ask for a crumb of reciprocation. That fucking word, serve. People aren't slaves, dipshits. This ain't Egypt and y'all motherfuckers ain't no King Tut or Cleopatra. Serve. Then that segues into the matching energies bullshit. Like going out of your way to be a jerk when you're not naturally one is ever a good call. This is the shit that if you only scroll on TikTok for like 5 minutes, you'll run into. It comes in right after the Big Bang Theory and Dr. House clips. You can't miss it. And look, I get it. Every platform has its toxic side. YouTube can be a fucking blood sport, full of drama and all types of craziness. Twitch is basically all the worst parts of your anime club in high school and was founded by two dudes who look like they used to Naruto run in the halls. I'm a weeb, don't at me. Snapchat's full of sex pests and degenerates. Discord's a groomer's paradise. Twitter, or X, or whatever the fuck it's called, is a literal dumpster fire filled with everything I mentioned and then some. But you can at least make it so that you almost never run into that shit if you plan it right. I can like a bunch of Goku shit on YouTube and literally only get Goku shit. I can only watch Ninja and whatever the fuck on Twitter, or on Twitch, excuse me, and not run into those fucking weirdos. I can only friend people I know on Snapchat and never have to interact with anyone I don't know unless I seek that out. I can only use Discord for certain groups, or if your work uses it, or whatever. And I know there's a weird trend going around. People's jobs actually use Discord. I don't know what the fuck that is. It's like I don't think we should be putting the work world and Discord together. Like one of the jobs I had was at a Japanese market and they used Discord, and that's just fucking weird. For me, that's just fucking weird because it's like I don't know. It's one of those apps that no company really should be on. I don't know. Use fucking like WhatsApp or GroupMe or something, like most companies do. Don't fucking try and go on Discord. It just I don't know. It's like most jobs already feel kind of like they're trying to groom you into the ways of the company anyways. We don't need bosses to be Discord mods. I'm just saying. And even Twitter or X or whatever the fuck is called is really good at showing you content related to people that you follow. TikTok is the only one of these apps where if I like a bunch of anime edits, I'll get those for like 4 scrolls, and then I'll see someone screaming at the top of their lungs. Then I'll see clips from movies. Then some moron talking about how unhappy they are in their relationship. Then those couples pranks videos. And it doesn't matter how hard you try to avoid it, at least one will slip in there. It takes you literally deleting the app and decompressing from social media in general to realize that long-lasting relationships don't work like how these idiots preach in the first place. There's someone for everyone, and you set the pace for your own relationships. A real relationship accepts every part of you, embraces every strength and weakness, and guides and comforts you through the pain of living. And you don't have to fucking force it. You don't have to go out and hit on people. You don't have to go out and be mad because people won't date you. If it's meant for you, it'll come to you naturally. If all relationships were like how these idiots preach, there'd be literally no point in getting with anyone ever. If it was really this bad, if it was really this toxic out here, if you really had to do this stuff, then there'd be no point in getting with anyone ever. And I know there's a male loneliness epidemic, a female singleness epidemic. Those things are real. I agree with that. And they're a problem. But part of the reason is because of apps like this. You know? And this is stuff that you're not going to be told because these fucks make money off of you being lost. They get rich off of you being miserable, lonely, and depressed. The more you genuinely hate your partner, the more their performative hate gets rewarded. The more they make you hate being single and make you associate being single with some type of inherent flaw in you, the more that gets rewarded. It's all a scheme. And there's no better example of just how deep the scheme runs than that damn cooking with Kaya shit. And I'm not even gonna look that up. Because you already know it's a black lady cooking shit and twerking. That's it. The meme is going around though on the app, and she's pulling the attention of it's because she's pulling the attention of all these men in relationships because she's doing what their women are unwilling to do, or at least that's what you can get from looking at her fucking channel or whatever. I mean, you can't look at it now because TikTok's fucking gonzo. They fucking kicked it in its ass and sent it on its merry way. But basically, it was like Cocomelon for men who hate their partners. It was a distraction, and she fed into it. She'd make snarky little videos here and there bragging about how she's pulling all this attention from angry black women and their resentful men. This has sparked not only more angry, spiteful content, but more all men are dogs content, more all women are bitches content. And apparently there's also a Cooking with Moolah who does the same bit, but for women, so he's shaking his dick around instead of his ass. Basically, his whole thing is, so y'all got Kaya, well, your girls got Moolah. And yeah, that's the best solution, I think, in my opinion. Yep. Somebody has a wandering eye, let your eye wander too. Because everybody knows revenge is the best teacher. Coming to an understanding? No. Talking it out and setting boundaries around that type of content? No. Finding new relationships if the girl or guy you're with is just so fucking terrible. What? No. Perish the thought. And again, they profit off of your misery. Kaya and whoever she's with is living large off of the money that you get them when you hate watch or when you fucking jerk your cock to her. It's literally the epitome of everything that I hate about that fucking app. But, you know, I've gone out about that shit long enough. TikTok's gone now. And honestly, we've got bigger issues on our plate. Let's pivot over to talking about the LA fires. Yeah, so as of the time of this recording, LA is still on fire. About 25 people in LA have unfortunately lost their lives, and they don't even know if it's just 25 people. They're still trying to go through and sort everything. And the fire is still raging on. Thankfully, more people were able to evacuate than the amount who were killed, allegedly. They're still trying to find out the exact cause of the fires at the time of this recording. But this thing has been raging on for days. And I suspect it might have something to do with the LA officials, like the mayor and governor, cutting funding to local fire departments, draining prominent water sources like dams and reserves for repairs, and being more focused on making themselves look good and trying to control the narrative in the aftermath than actually saving lives. I don't think I've ever seen a clear example of just what is wrong with politicians than at this particular moment. Thousands of lives, valuable homes, and many natural resources are on the line, and all Gavin Newsom can do is have a pissing contest with Trump. Karen Bass, the mayor, wasn't even in town. She was fucking partying in Ghana while her city burned to cinders. And she was the one who cut funding to all the fire departments who could have helped put out the fire. There's actually a really great video of her being grilled by a reporter, and I'll actually include it here as well as link it in. Well, yeah, I'll include it here, link it in the description or whatever. She is speechless. She just stares straight ahead, motionless, not daring to even look the reporter in the eye because she knows she was wrong. She can't come up with a single ounce of political jargon, fake reassuring bullshit, or anything to justify cutting funding and then dipping over to Ghana while her home burned down. There's no phrase, no amount of training, no nothing that can prepare you to face the reality that your dumb attitude fueled the worst local fire in history. The people are actually wanting her and the mayor to resign, or her and the governor, to resign. Honestly, I feel like this level of stupidity from both her and Newsom is criminal. It is. It's like when you're more focused on controlling the narrative and making sure that you don't look bad in front of Trump than actually saving lives, this is when politics goes too far. My prayers and condolences go out to all the victims, their families, and anyone else who was affected by this. But, anywho, that concludes today's show. If you liked this show, or even if you didn't, be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell, etc., etc. Make sure you go follow me on Instagram at DapperDon1012. And if you want to be a part of next week's show, you can message me there or on Facebook at Don Piper as well. And make sure to tune in next Wednesday at 6:30 on the dot for an all-new What's Going On with me, your illustrious host, Dapper Don. You don't want to miss what I have in store. Peace.